Is the people who just they want power and privilege so much that, and I'm just be totally honest with you because Theus brought it up yesterday, but it is the truth. We've been for the longest time been calling it slavery, and rightfully so because it is slavery. But you know what we actually call it now? We call it human trafficking because that's what it was. That's all it literally is. If you can explain to me what's the difference after we just saw a video where they was leasing out slaves and you can borrow my slave and you can use him for a few minutes and okay, I'm done. So cause my work, our farm didn't work out, so I try to liquidate everything I had, including my slave. Tell me the difference between slavery and human trafficking.
Well, it's even worse.
Level. And even if you try to put sexuality into it, nope. You still can't tell me the difference between slavery and human trafficking. It's the exact same. Ooh.
Not that. No, wait, whoa. Human trafficking, like when they take these poor people who are desperate for economic opportunity from South America and do horrible things to them and rob them blind and leave them for dead in the desert, and then just to smuggle them into the United States. That's horrible. It's a crime against nature. It's a crime against man. That's still just one aspect of slavery. You look at sex trafficking, where they rob you of your independence and they use you like a piece of meat for other people to get their pleasure from you with no regard for your humanity. That's still just one aspect of slavery. I mean, it's like you can look at almost any abomination you want to, and they were all just slices of what American chattel slavery was. Like, you had the sex trafficking, they were literally breeding us like animals. The way that you end up with a pit bull versus a Georgia bulldog versus a boxer, right? That's all from selective breeding. That's how you ended up with 6'6" versus big muscle frame versus, right? They bred us like animals, yo. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's why I won't let anybody compare us to anything else. I just won't let it happen because our Holocaust. Because I mean, I guess patent pending. Only one group of people gets to use the term Holocaust. But our Holocaust lasted 300 years. You know what I'm saying? And it's only trailing out at this point 150 years later, 160 years later, right? 6 million people were murdered in the most grisly fashion imaginable, starved and everything else under the Nazi occupation. And we recognize that as a Holocaust. Those of us with some sense recognize that as a Holocaust. 100 million Africans died and were murdered over the course of slavery. Tell me that's not a Holocaust. Tell me that's not genocide. The indigenous people, I don't even know the numbers because nobody tell you. Right? But that went on for almost 400 years. Tell me that's not, well, we acknowledge that that's a genocide. We'll give that one genocide, but then we just try not to talk about it. Right? But the perpetrator every single time fits the very general description. And then they say, well, that's way back then. That's way back then. Oh, that's way back then. Okay. Well, let's look at Israel. Israel is doing genocide as we speak against the Palestinian people. I'm not putting their story one-to-one with us because, I mean, we, like Ice Cube said, we got too much issues over here. But just look at who's doing it. It's the European Jews who took over Israel, right? Your ass from Poland, now you in over here, and you go back and do the same atrocities that were done to you to another group of people. But this is today. And who's backing them? Good old Uncle Sam and the rest of the European powers, the colonial powers. So it's like everybody wants to say that's back there, that's way back here. But I'm like, no, it's a mindset. It's an ideology. It's a belief system. It's a superiority complex. It does not die with a person. So Way back there is just telling you what they're doing right now.